Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome to another episode of SolitaryCraft. I'm just back from the Nether. It was quite a fiasco. I went to get some quartz and stuff, and my game totally locked up while I was fighting a ghast. And I come back, and I fell, well, next to lava. Not that big of a deal. Kind of a pain. Had a couple creeper incidents when I was setting up the portal, as you can see. But that's neither here nor there. I got my quartz, and I'm ready to do something. Before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Little Plushie, who reminded me about the thermal expansion strongbox. There are a few versions of this. This is the basic one, which doesn't hold a lot. The big deal is you can set the access, and anything that's inside it, if you shift right click it with your crescent hammer, you can pick it up. It retains the inventory and it shows you what's in it. If you're playing on a server, you're going to want to watch out for this. You cannot set it to private and have an item duct connect to it. I am in single player, so not that big of a deal for me. I will just leave it on public access. This will get upgraded in the future. Like I said, this is just the first tier. So I'm going to try them out and see how they do. It's better than using a dart wrench in my opinion, because this was designed specifically to be picked up and moved. So why did I need quartz? I needed quartz because we need to do a few things today, and I totally forgot to get lava before we started this. So I will do that in just a minute. I'll go ahead and make the cells so I don't forget. But I want to start with a little bit of EnderIO stuff, and I really like EnderIO, mainly because you can upgrade the machines so they work faster and have more of a buffer, an energy buffer, and they run on MJ. So if you have a boiler or a big array of engines, you don't have to worry about power. The things work pretty quickly. There are some issues where the sag mill, which is the EnderIO version of the pulverizer, won't work with some ores, specifically the GregTech ores. Not a big deal in our case, but it can be an issue if you're playing GregTech. So I've got a magmatic dynamo in here. I think these are still basically the equivalent of 4MJ. And then what we've got is the machine chassis, spelled incorrectly, no big deal. This is basically like the machine frame from thermal expansion. I'll go ahead and make a few of these, and then we have to make basic capacitors, and I'm going to make all of these because we're definitely going to need those. And then this is the sag mill recipe. Bam. And this is our alloy smelter recipe. Bam. Do I have anything in this one? No, I don't. So I'm only going to need to do a few things with this. We're probably going to need a little bit of conduit. Let's make a few of these. So I need redstone, lead, and glass. Shouldn't be a problem. We'll take 8 of those. Let me go find some lava, and then we'll fire up this magmatic dynamo thingamabob, and we'll do the EnderIO stuff. And I need a bunch of lava, so if there's none just right here, there just happens to be. We'll see if we can fill up all our cells here. Assuming I can still use these cells to put lava in the dynamo. I haven't tried it yet, but I don't see a reason why it wouldn't work. I have some terrible news also. That Enderman reminded me the recipe for the elevator has been changed in the newer version. And it now takes an ender pearl where it used to take gold. So that is bad news for us. So let me see if I have a lever. I prefer levers to redstone torches. Okay. So I'm just going to put them on the floor right here. They work with hoppers. They don't work like the thermal expansion machines. Unfortunately, they don't auto output, but they do work with item ducts. So eventually we may automate some of this, but right now I just want to make a couple of things. So we're just going to do this right here. Alright, so that is on. If you see, we're getting MJ here. We're getting MJ here. What the sag mill does, like I said, it's basically like the pulverizer. What I want to make specifically, I need to make something out of quartz. I want to make reservoirs. And reservoirs, as you see, here's the recipe. We need 4 of them. So we're going to need a couple of cauldrons, fused quartz. So we're going to have to smelt a bunch of nether quartz. We'll just do a stack. If you have 3 stacks, you can fill all 3 of these slots in. Hopefully I'm in the right mode. I think it might need to be, I don't remember if it's furnace mode or alloy mode. Basically, you have, maybe this is the mixed mode. We'll see when this thing comes out in just a second. Alright, I'm in the correct mode. You got alloys only, furnace only, and furnace mode, which does both. So you use this machine specifically to make your EnderIO alloys, which we'll also have to do in a moment. And you can use it to cook regular things. Obviously, if it's in alloy only mode, it won't just smelt ores or dust. And if it's in furnace mode, it will not do the alloys. We're going to need something else for one of the things. What do we need? With the capacitors, we can actually upgrade the speed of the machines. So you've got your basic one, which we just craft. Then you take 2 to make the second tier, and then 2 of these and some other EnderIO alloy to make the 3rd tier, which is the best one. So let's just focus on the reservoir for now. We're going to need to grind up a little bit of coal. I will do 16 of them. And while that's happening, let's make some more gold nuggets and make a few more of these capacitors. Half a stack ought to do it. Let's hope. So once we get this coal powder, we make some electrical steel, which I believe is a redstone and coal, and this stuff, silicon. There's a percentage on this, and I found that I had the best luck with clay blocks, which I should have. I don't, but not a big deal. So I'll let this finish. I'll let this probably get 3 more, and then once it's done, I'll go ahead and cook some electrical steel, and then we will move on. Okay, so I've just got 2 of these. I want to go ahead and take them out and make this upgrade, because that thing is really slow when it does a lot of the alloys. So we only need 1. We put 1 in here. If you notice, this shrank. Now we can hold 20,000 MJ. Without it, it's only 10,000. So it doubles it, and it dramatically increases the speed at which this stuff smelts. So I'm also going to go ahead and make some energetic alloy for a special surprise. So I'll let this cook up, and then I'll be right back again. Okay guys, so I went ahead and made some conductive iron as well. And we need to make a couple other things. We need some of this, some binder composite, and we need a few daylight sensors. I'll just go ahead and make 4. This stuff I believe can go in any sort of furnace. You don't need to make that much of it. What we're going to do with it, we're going to use it to make some energy conduit. I want to show you that. I don't love it. The one good thing about the EnderIO conduits is you can run a bunch of them, like 2 or 3 in one block space. It's no big deal. And then you can cover them all with the facade. So we probably have enough of that. So here's what I wanted to do with this. First, I wanted to make a capacitor bank. So I cooked up all my redstone apparently. Let's make a redstone block real quick. This capacitor bank, it's basically, oops, I guess I have to make the second capacitor. It's basically the equivalent of like the old redstone energy cell. I'm missing tin, aren't I? Is it tin? Yep. Which one of you is tin? It's basically like the old redstone energy cell. And the interesting thing about it is, though I only have one, it acts like a multi-block. If you put them together, they all share this damn wind. If you put them together, they share the power. You can see it's charging up. This actually, with the upgrade, was using the energy faster than this redstone energy cell, or this dynamo could produce it. So really what I wanted to do today, let me get some glass panes. I think I have enough in here. I might need to make a few more. I really wanted to do the reservoirs. I kind of got sidetracked. I apologize about that. What else do we need? Cauldrons. Perfect amount of iron for 2 cauldrons. Alright, 4 of those. I also wanted to show you the photovoltaic cell, which, unfortunately, both of the power generation options from EnderIO, they only make 1 MJ a tick. This is basically it's an MJ solar panel. It only makes 1 MJ a tick. We can pick this up with a pick. I think it's better with the Yeta wrench, which we need to make anyway. The gears are really cheap. Didn't get enough damn cobblestone. Alright, let's try this again. And from what I can tell, this is interchangeable with the crescent hammer, actually. So we'll pick this up. I don't know what I can get rid of. Probably all of it, honestly. Alright, so if we set this thing down out here in the sunlight, it actually doesn't just generate power as long as it's daytime. It peaks at 1 when the sun is directly overhead. So you can see it's basically like a trickle charge, but it can be useful if you have a machine out in the middle of nowhere and you don't want to transmit power, which you can do with this thing. But if you don't want to, you can put a solar panel on it and it's all good. I haven't refilled this. It's still working on its own, with the water we put in it last time. But if we put the reservoir here, that reservoir is a 2x2. I don't have an empty bucket, so I'll just use this one. If we put 2 buckets of water in it, see it filled up. If we right click it with our Yeta wrench, you see there's an up arrow on it. That means that it's going to automatically output water into a connected tank or pipe. So it's kind of like the aqueous accumulator, except it's a multi-block. So you can output this to an ender tank, or I've even used it with a Railcraft boiler. It works just fine. You can pump it out with liquiducts, but it auto outputs, which is nice because then you don't have to worry about a waterproof pipe and a redstone engine or a autarkic gate or whatever. So this thing is still filling up. It's pretty nice. If we make the conduit, I've never used this without the conduit, so I'm not sure if you use a Buildcraft pipe, if it'll actually work. We can try it real quick. I'm already probably running long anyway. I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to cut some out when I was waiting for the alloys to smelt. This whole process took 30 minutes. Just to let you know how long it takes to smelt those alloys when you first start out and you're not generating an excessive amount of power. So let's do this. We'll get, do we have planks? I put them in here. We'll make a wooden pipe. I'm pretty sure that it will transmit, but I just want to verify. So we'll do that very quickly, and then I'll end the episode. I have a lot of mining ahead of me. This stuff is not cheap, especially when you get into like making alloys and stuff. So if we put our solar panel on there, no dice. So we are going to need the conduit, which I do have the materials to make. So we might as well go ahead and make it. The energy conduit, there are 3 tiers of it as well. Kind of like Buildcraft, and also kind of like the capacitors that we make. It looks pretty thick in your inventory. When you actually put it out, it's very small. And you know what? We may not have been getting MJ to that because the sun is going down. So for science, let's do this. Let's make it noon. We'll replace that Buildcraft pipe just to make sure. This also does not work in whatever version of Morph I have if you're morphed, which is kind of a pain to have to switch back and forth. A lot of things seem to act flaky if you're morphed. Yeah, so there's your verification. It doesn't look like it's working with the Buildcraft pipe, but the EnderIO conduit, not a problem at all. So since we have that, I can probably throw this on top, and it'll take a while to charge, but once it does, I could take it with me and power a filler with it, or, you know, whatever MJ machine I want. So that's going to do it. If you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them down below. If you want me to go more in depth into EnderIO, please leave me a comment. I'm really only going to make the machines that I need to make. So, I mean, if you want a little mini spotlight, I can do that. But otherwise, I'm just going to make what I need to make to do what I need to do. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.